Tape's going on.
It's on. No, I'm saying it's going to be very likely. I try to cry harder, but I'd just rather just stop. I'd rather just stop.
I wasn't expecting to see you last night. I was on the internet, on Hulu, watching that show, The Pretender from the 90s, where the main character is a genius who can pretend to be whomever he chooses, whether it's a fighter pilot, a medical examiner, or whatever the episode calls for. He goes around doing good deeds and solving crimes while he searches for his parents and clues about his past. Last night, he was a skydiving instructor. In one scene, he's about to make a jump and he notices a board similar to a snowboard on the floor of the little Cessna. He straps it to his feet, slides out of the plane, and goes immediately into a graceful spin. He wears a white jumpsuit and a pair of wraparound sunglasses. I instantly recognized him to be you. I hope you will forgive me, but I had forgotten about you. Not completely, though. You were still a pretty big deal to me when I was a kid. We lived in that little house in downtown Denver then. My parents were young and cool, and they loved watching the extreme games back when there was speed climbing, street luge, and barefoot freestyle water skiing. My sister and I loved to yell, "Tidy bowl in the hole," whenever you were competing. The tidy bowl was your best trick. You would flip upside down, hold your arms close to your body, and begin to rotate. Meanwhile, your camera flyer would flip onto his back while you spun faster and faster at his head. On camera, it appeared as though you were spinning upright, the ground above you threatening to crash down upon you. The sky below you was still and serene, a celestial ocean of calm turned into a froth by the chaos of your propeller-like board. Your routines were too short, though. I would ask why you couldn't do a few more tricks, and my mom would explain that you had to deploy your parachute with enough time left to let it open and slow your fall. I thought you were just lazy. I'm sorry I doubted you. I was only about 7 years old, but I think I had a crush on you. My sister had a Dylan McKay Barbie from that show, 90210, that we weren't allowed to watch. I don't know where she got it, but it kind of looked like you. So I dressed it in white and taped a tongue depressor to its feet and threw it up towards the ceiling where it would twist and spin before crashing to the floor with an inelegant thud. All attempts to give the doll a functioning parachute were equally inelegant. I broke that board a couple of times, but it was okay because I had a big box of replacements. I borrowed your sky twice, once when I was 14 and again when I was 18. I hope you don't mind. The first time was when I was in Turkey with a paraglider named Aslan. Maybe you'll think it's lame because there's no free fall involved, but I felt pretty badass. We just stepped off of a mountain and were carried high above the Mediterranean. I was comfortable there. Greece claimed the sea in front of me, its islands dotting the horizon like hazy cutouts of another trip for another time. The mountain that we had just stepped off belonged to Turkey, but for the time being, the sky belonged to me. Aslan told me he had represented Turkey in the World Stunt Paragliding Championships in Germany the week before. Did you know there was such a thing? You probably did. We did some spins and swoops and caught a few updrafts that hurtled us back into the sky. It was the first time I ever thought about a parachute going up rather than simply falling down, but I guess it works like a kite. I spent the whole ride clinging to the carabiners that attached the risers to my harness, which was probably a bad idea because they were the only things keeping me from plummeting into the turquoise water thousands of feet below me. I wasn't scared, though, just in awe. Altitude sets me at ease. The second time, when I was 18, was in a hot air balloon above Colorado Springs. Liftoff was at sunrise, and we floated above the city as it started to wake up. We drifted north, and as we sank, the sun rose, and people stepped out of their homes to pick up the paper and let the dog out to pee. We hung there above them, unnoticed until a blast of flame halted our descent and startled the bathrobed citizens. Some would wave, others would run back indoors, clutching their loose robes, and we would giggle at the sight of sagging tighty-whities and grungy nightshirts. Our voyeurism thrilled us as we watched the shadow of our balloon undulate and slide over roofs and driveways. The pilot who took me and my grandfather up said that he had a larger balloon that could go to higher altitudes from which people could skydive. Have you ever tried that? He said it's very different from jumping out of a plane. Something about it being more quiet. The fall starts less violently because there's no forward momentum to deal with. You just kind of drop. I can't really describe how excited I was to see you last night. You made me pause the episode I was watching so I could IMDb you, but there was no listings for stuntmen. So I got on YouTube and searched Tidy Bowl. I spelled it wrong, but I found you when I typed in Skysurfing. I was devastated to read in the video's description that you had died while making a commercial for Mountain Dew. It seemed an unworthy cause for you to give your life. In my head, you had lived another 14 years. You should be my mother's age. I Googled you and it was as if you had died yesterday. My grief was raw, even though dozens of other divers had already scattered your ashes around the world. I don't really believe that you fell to your death. If anything, you dropped into the sky. You were at home there, as if it was your natural habitat. Like in the Tidy Bowl, the ground is dangerous, hanging menacingly above your head as you spin faster and faster. The sky holds you safe and sound. Just takes you by the hand and just holds you there. I know the altitude sets you at ease too. You must be there still, wearing all white. Behind your game face and sunglasses is a grin because you finally know why birds sing.